Good morning, good afternoon, good evening, good night, wherever you are, whenever you are. Welcome to a new DC live stream and a Bitcoin technical analysis video. I hope everyone who's watching is or had a great weekend. It's a long weekend here in Australia. We are celebrating the Queen's birthday, so today is a public holiday, but that's not going to stop me from doing a live stream for you guys. Alrighty, let's dive into the chart. So basically, Bitcoin for the last 2 weeks has been going sideways between 20,400 and 18,000. So about a $2,500 range, so about a 10% range at that. And this consolidation basically means that we have a decent move about to occur in the Bitcoin price. Up or down, that is the question. My feelings are more so, I'm about 80% certain that it's going to be going down, purely for the fact that the normal American stock markets and all the other markets, including the currency markets, are not doing too well. So on top of that, the macroeconomic environment globally isn't fantastic. There hasn't sort of been any amazing news. So I do feel that we're probably going to be held down by this green trend line, which has been drawn all the way since the all-time high of 69,000 to the sort of dead cat bounce that we had here at 48,000 and now where we are. So we've found it really difficult to break this trend line. We've, I guess, had resistance once. You could say that's twice, 3 times. Even though right now Bitcoin has looked like it's bounced off the local point of control of this entire sideways range, I feel like there's just too much resistance for it here. This point of control, as well as the downward trend line, is probably where Bitcoin is looking to have a bit of a move to the upside, because in the short term, things look okay for a small move to the upside. So we'll probably end up maybe coming back up to about 19,800, but that's not going to stop, I think, the inevitability of what's going to happen. Now, if we do break this downward trend line, with volume, we are going to get some really, really, good price action to the upside, and Bitcoin will absolutely go nuts. And where would Bitcoin actually head to if we do break to the upside? I feel the first point of resistance will be around about the 0.5 Fibonacci retracement, which is where this local high used to be, right here at 25,200, and we might just stay in this sideways range for a bit longer. We'll come up here and so forth, and that would be the best outcome for Bitcoin. The worst outcome, which is what I'm sort of unfortunately fearing, is a breakdown to the previous lows of 17,600. We'll probably have what's called a swing failure pattern, where we break down. A lot of people think that we are going to collapse because we've broken past the previous low of 17.6, and then we might get a small move, like a swift move back to the upside, but then an eventual collapse. So this, if we do break this green trend line, this is what would be called a bump and run pattern. And we've seen this pattern many times in Bitcoin's history and also in just normal charts. So this is the one currently going on. If I just chuck it on the log, just to make things a little bit easier, we had one back here. Okay, I'm not taking it from the all-time high, but I'm just going to go from this triangle right here. I need to remove that. So you can see once we sort of broke this trend line right here, we had this explosive move from, let's say it was 4,800, so $5,000 to 14,000. So that's one example of the past. Here's another example, alrighty, where we broke this trend line right here. like so. We broke the trend line, came back down, retested it, and then obviously started the next bull run. Then we have this one right here. This line's a little bit off, but we can go from here. You can see that the price action was held down perfectly right here. So held down, held down, held down. But once we broke past it, then that was the start of the bull run. So things can and will get very explosive once we break this downward trend line. But until that occurs, we're still in a bearish posture. Okay. Alrighty, let's zoom in now to the shorter time frame. So let's go to the daily. Actually, let's go back to the weekly, but let's put on some of our other indicators, and let's remove this fib right here. All right, so the stochastic RSI, we can see the moving averages, the blue moving average. Every time that crosses over the orange moving average, that usually follows, or a selling event occurs. So if we look at the this one right here and we match it up to the price action, we can see that we went from 25,000 to 19,000. If we look at the time before that, let me remove these. If we look at the time before that, this was when we were at 48,000. Then the one before that was the all-time high. Then the one before that was this bounce from the golden pocket that we had, and so forth. The only time we had a stochastic, in the low ranges, but the price action kept going up was back here, was when we had the first leg of the bull run with this exponential move. So unfortunately, this stochastic needs to reset. As you can see, it's a wave formation, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down, goes up, goes down. So right now we're at the top side, so we're in the overbought territory, and it needs, at one point in the future, it's going to come back down here. Now, is that going to be, sooner rather than later, or are these moving averages going to come up, maybe test one more part to the outside and then come down? Who knows? If we look at history, the history of this stochastic with those other bump and run patterns. Oops. Let me just remove that. And we go there. So if we look at the history, we can see that this bump and run pattern, we were quite overextended here. All right, so we were overextended in the overbought territory, but we stayed up for quite a bit of time. We stayed up here for this one was like 77 days, so that's just under 3 months. And we could do the same thing here. But as you can see, at one point, we need to come down. So does Bitcoin break the downward trend line? Do we get a bump and run? Do we get the relief, mid-bear market relief rally for the next few months? And then do we have a secondary sort of bear market, which is always the case with sort of Bitcoin? You can see here, came down, broke it, then we had like a bit of a secondary lull right here until we exploded. If we look at this one, we can see that once we broke it, we had I guess another peak, and then we had another sort of secondary bear market. So could we see the same thing? That's probably like the best news that we could get from Bitcoin is a break of the trend line, pushing above the local point of control right here at 19,800. 20 grand, let's say, round it up, and then we see a swift move to the upside. And if we see a swift move to the upside, what we could also see, even though I spoke about 25,000 being sort of the first major hurdle that we would need to break, let's just say we break that and we go, we have our sort of relief rally or mid bear market relief rally, we could see the price come back up to about 50K. That's all hopium right now, okay, especially with the markets doing so poorly. And if we look at the SPX, okay, it's basically looking to form new lows. Well, it has formed a new low, and this is a bit of a support / trend line that I have right here from this peak. But the next one is around about 33,000. So if the traditional markets are going to go down, you can bet your bottom dollar that Bitcoin will follow, because it's not yet decoupled from the stock market. But in the meantime, we have to just look at what's happening in front of us. And Bitcoin, like I said, is looking for a small push to the upside, but it's more than likely it's going to get rejected. If I chuck on a couple of my other indicators, let's go to Market Cipher B. Alrighty, and look at the money flow. So we can see that, let's go to the weekly first. On the weekly money flow, we are still in the red money flow, which is not great. we want to see the money flow cross over into the green, and that would basically be the commencement of the next bull market. Right now, things are quite choppy. We have been getting supported once again. We had another weekly close above the value area low of the range, and the value area low of the range is 18,747 at current price. So as long as we can stay above that price and not close a daily candle, if I zoom into the daily, if we cannot close a daily candle below that, that gives me confidence that we could obviously move to the upside. Just a note as well, this trend line right here, it's changed its format just because I'm in log. If I remove log, which is what you're supposed to do when you sort of have some trend lines, then you can see that the trend line is perfect. But just so we can fit the entire price and it looks a bit nicer, sometimes I utilize log. So what we want to see here is we want to see the money flow move, like I said, from red to green, kind of like what we did here. But we need to do so more so on the weekly scale. If we look at history once again on the weekly scale of what the red money flow to green money flow has indicated, where's my vertical here? So we can see, oh well, we've got a red vertical line here already. You can see that the money flow stayed in the red till we hit that sort of that $14,000 mark, which was the golden pocket of the all-time high right here. So this number to the low, you can see that was the golden pocket. So we could, in fact, still stay here in the red money flow and still push to the upside without needing the crossover. But we can see that after the COVID dump, or just before the COVID dump, I should say, we did have the red money flow cross into the green, and then we stayed green, and then that was the commencement of the bull market. So we do want to see this money flow start pointing to the upside, like what we did sort of back here. But we need that definitive cross above the zero line. So that's what I'll be looking for to, push all my stable coins back into the market. Once I see that on a macro scale, on a weekly scale, I'll be a lot more confident about the market now going to move to the upside, even though it might be a bit slow. All right, let's look at the daily. So on the daily, we have a couple of points of interest. So right now, the price is 19,240. So the first point of resistance as we move up, as I've mentioned, is 19,800, and this trend line right here. And you can see both sort of crossover, which means we could see this move, today to the upside. But I just feel like we're going to probably struggle to break this. And if we do break this, we do have a high value node up here at 21,400. Let's see if there's some confluence between this peak there. Okay, the golden pocket is quite close to this high value node. So there could even be, like I said, there could be a huge fake out to here. Everyone's like, yeah, we've broken the trend line, and then we just dump it from here. But yeah, we have to just wait until you have to be looking at the charts at that time to make a call. If I zoom into the 4-hour, we can see that we are getting a bit of a relief rally from just this current point right here. We've got a green dot on market cipher, which means look, price is probably either going to stay here or move to the upside. If I jump on the the moving average, and let's check on the stochastic RSI as well. We can see that the MACD is wanting to cross over. We have just printed two yellow, lighter colored histogram candles, and the moving averages are looking like they're curving to the upside. So as I said, we could potentially get a bit of a push to the upside. Stochastic RSI is also pointing to the upside. So that is a good thing. Alrighty, let's go for something a little bit closer to home. Alrighty, so we can see that we are still in the red money flow as well on the 1 hour, which kind of means any move to the upside, I don't think I'm going to respect too much as a trader because there's more sort of money still exiting the market than entering the market. Like I said, we always want to see this red wave starting to curve to the upside and wanting to cross over the zero line. That gives me confidence in like a short-term perspective because we are on the that 1 hour time frame that will get a move to the upside, but still being quite thick in the red here. We're not very close to that zero line. I just feel like this little push to the upside is quite weak, and it's probably just getting a few people, building a bit of FOMO, so to speak. Alrighty. Let's quickly check at the DXY because that has an inverse correlation with Bitcoin's price. So when DXY goes up, Bitcoin goes down. And when it goes down, Bitcoin goes up. So right now we're getting a bit of a pullback in the DXY on the daily. If I go to the 4 hour, so we can get something a bit more current. Okay, we can see the DXY, see this green wave, it's pointing down and looking to sort of cross to the downside. So this is why I'm thinking Bitcoin could get a bit of a rally to the upside, just because money flow is exiting the US dollar, and it's most likely going into risk on assets, and Bitcoin isn't risk on asset. On the 1 hour, yep, same thing here. When the red money flow and money is exiting the US dollar, it has had a decent pullback as well from $114.7 to where it is now. So on the weekly though, if we look at it in the weekly, we're still in very thick green money flow. Okay, so I don't think it's going to stop here. It's obviously, like most assets, as it gets a push to the upside, people are going to take profits. It's going to pull back and rinse and repeat. I'm going to now show you a comparison of like when Bitcoin was in the weekly green money flow, and see how long it stayed in that green money flow and still pushed to the upside. So let's bring Bitcoin back in. Alrighty, so I'm going to go log. Let's just remove some of these fib charts. Alrighty, so we can see here. When we were in the midst of the bull market, and we're in this thick green money flow. Every time we even got a green dot, it was a push to the upside. So green dot here, push to the upside, green dot here, push to the upside, green dot here, push to the upside, etc., etc. So we can see that these green dots on market cipher B tend to do really well when we are in the green money flow, and it's the same with the red money flow, but the inverse with red dots. So when we get a red dot and we're in red money flow, it means a lot of sell action is going to occur. But right now, when you are in the red money flow and you get a green dot, the push to the upside is quite weak. As the same here. So when we are in the green money flow and we get a red dot, the sell-off isn't as big as expected. So right now, because we see such thick money flow in the DXY that I just showcased, I just don't think there's going to be any stopping. And the DXY is going to keep pushing to the upside because it's in the thick green money flow. Even if we do have the wave come back down below the zero line, let's bring it back up. Even if we see the wave, come down here, we could get one down here, and that's going to just push it to the upside. So we could see something where the price comes down, maybe comes back to this trend line, but then gets a more explosive move off that. And what that would mean is money flow going back into into Bitcoin, because like I said, inverse relationship. When this goes up, Bitcoin goes down. When this goes down, Bitcoin goes up. Right now, we're getting a bit of sell action. Let me just check on the RSI and the stochastic RSI. All right, so on the weekly stochastic RSI, we can see the moving averages are looking to sort of flatten out and maybe turn over. And on the normal RSI, we can kind of see a few forms, or a few, what's the word I'm looking for? A few bearish divergences. So we can see, a higher high here, a higher high here from that one. So we got two of basically, we can see there's this trend line as well. And then from this high here, we have a lower high on the RSI. So this shows weakness and is creating bearish divergences. So high in price, but low high in on the weekly scale. So DXY is probably going to come down a bit. It'll probably do something like this, where it comes down. It's going to create another lower high and then another higher high, like so. And then finally, it may eventually come back down, and then we'll see the bull run commence for the stock market and also the crypto market. So right now, temporarily some weakness in the DXY, but for the macro term, I don't think anything's going to be stopping it. And this is why I think Bitcoin is more than likely going to go down, in the next month, then move to the upside. Alrighty, I think that's all I wanted to cover. We do have 7 people online, so guys, if you have any questions, feel free to ask me something in the chat. but I've kind of given you my insight on what I think is going to happen with Bitcoin. 80% confident that it's going to go to the downside. There is more selling to occur. If any push to the upside, I will be personally shorting because we're still, like I said, macroeconomically with everything that's going on worldwide. I don't think we have enough confidence in any asset right now. I mean, I was looking at normal stock market assets the other day. This is, and I'm looking to buy some of these stocks. So this is Apple. Apple's down from 183 to 138, and look at this weekly candle. It's not looking very good. Facebook is having a bit of a shocker as well. So down from 383 to where it is now. So these are some of the stocks I'm kind of going to be looking at because I see a future in a lot of them. Tesla's, Tesla's not doing too bad actually. It's not doing too bad. It seems like it's forming a bit of a triangle. Where's my shapes? So it's got a bit of a triangle happening. If I've got to remove that. So it's got a bit of a triangle happening. So we could see something like that where it just stays around here. Nike, this is obviously, I'm a big Nike fan. I always wear lots of Nike, but Nike's not looking too good. It's at a, pretty decent discount. And these are companies that I like, that I follow, that I wear, and that I want to own, like a Tesla. So these are some of the companies I'm probably looking at getting some shares, but you can clearly see that these companies aren't doing well. So why would Bitcoin do well when a lot of these companies aren't doing well? You kind of got to think, okay, well, if the stock market isn't doing well, why would crypto, which is technically as well an investment hub, be doing or do well? Why would it, do the inverse of the stock market? Even though it was built to be different and to be a hedge against inflation and so forth, people still see it as an investment asset. So when, stock markets go down, this will, go down. The day I'd love to see in my lifetime, the, Bitcoin go up whilst the stock market is down, because that's exactly why it was built. It was built as a hedge against, inflation, money printing, government control of peer-to-peer transaction and monetary policies and all that type of jazz. So it'd be fantastic to finally see this occur, but I just don't think it's going to happen. Maybe in my lifetime, but it's definitely why it was created. Alrighty, I do have. Looks like maybe I've got a question. Hi, boss. I missed in between. How far down Bitcoin can go? Okay, yep. So I think the first stop will be the previous low of 17,600. I think. What normally happens, unless we get a swift move, and by a swift move I'm basically mean like we'll see a candle just go straight down like so, you'll tend to see the price maybe like crawl down here. A lot of people then get freaked out, they start selling their assets, and then we'll have what's called a swing value pattern, where the price just barely breaks the horizontal plane from the lowest point of the price action that we had, and then has a move to the upside. But my lowest point, if and when we do break 17.6, 15,000 is quite a nice round number that I'm sure a few people will have some buy orders around here. But my personal one is this previous high during the bull market, but basically between 13,000 and 14,000. That's going to be my optimal buy zone, which is the 85%. 85% retracement from all-time high, the COVID low to the all-time high. So 85%. So why I chose this is because on previous cycles, Bitcoin has always retraced 85% from the all-time high to the previous low. So you can double check that. Head to BLX, so Brave New Coin Liquid Index, and if you draw your fibs. Let's just do the previous bull run as an example. Boom. So from $160 to 20 grand, 85% retracement, boom, was 3,220. That's exactly where Bitcoin went. That's just basically how I think. So let's go from this one to that one. Look at that, 85%. So from the 2011 bear market lows of $2 to the all-time high of 2018 of $1,163, the 85% retracement is exactly where the price came down to. So basically, all I'm saying is in the last 3 bear markets, Bitcoin has come down 85%. So you can see here, 85%. Go this one, 85%. Right there, 83, 84, pretty close. And then on this current bull market, if we go down 85%, 85% is, well, it says 10,000. That's a bit weird. Why does it say 10,000? When we just did a, it's a bit weird that it says that actually, because, oh, okay. Sorry, from this low there. Okay. So, yeah, I'm surprised why that's getting, see, so I've measured it here from this low to this high. The 85% retracement says 13,000, but when I do, I use the ruler, it's giving me a different, look, it's giving me 80%. That's weird. So that's a bit of a, maybe because I'm in log. No, it shouldn't matter if I'm in log. But anyways, 85%, that is my target. 85% retracement. So basically, look, between 11 and 13,000. That's where I'm looking at. But more predominantly this 13,800 because it was a golden pocket retracement. So hopefully that answers your question. That is my perfect buying zone for Bitcoin if we break down. Obviously, we need to break down, but that's taken a bit longer than expected. I think like everyone's kind of like over the bear market. We kind of want to see, well, especially in this last, how long has this been? We've been in this sort of range now for, we've been in this range for 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So for the last 4 months, we've been in this range. So it's been a bit boring. We kind of want to get a resolution down or up, but so we can, start planning for the next bull run. But it looks like time is just taking its time. And I just want to show you guys as well, if you want to know how to know if there's an incoming move, check out Bollinger Band with percentile. Alrighty, so you've got the volatility and the moving average right here. So basically, there's a 5 SMA, so simple moving average, and then you've got the colored line is the volatility. But basically, when the colored line is quite low, it's looking to expand to the upside, which means we're going to get some action. So if we quickly draw lines every time this line is low and then it moved to the upside, we can see that the price did something. So right here, price came down. Right here, price went to the upside. Right here, price went down. Right here, price went to the downside. So this is on the weekly scale, but if I check on the daily, okay, it's exactly the same. So when we see these blue bars, that means volatility is at its lowest. It means we've had a lot of sideways action and we're about to see some volatility. So we can see back here, we had pushed to the upside. So we went from 22.4 to 25. It wasn't huge, but the volatility following that, as you can see, that as the line moved to the upside, we ended up having a sell-off. When you're in the red, when you have these red bars, that means consolidation is occurring because volatility is expanded to its max component. There's only so much the price wants to be volatile to stay within sort of parameters and so forth. So every time we're in the blue right here, something big is going to happen. Something big happened here. We sell down right here. We're just waiting. I'm just patiently waiting which direction we're going to go. And then obviously you can just make a clearer trade. So we can see right here, we were blue. We went to the upside. This one, we went to the downside. So it's direction neutral. It's not going to tell you which direction it's going to go. It's just letting me know that we are within this week, we should see the move to the upside or the downside. That's basically what I wanted to let you guys know. I can't tell you up or down. I think more so down, 80% confident down and 20% up. But then again, it's crypto. When everyone thinks it's going in one direction, market makers like to move it in the opposite direction. Alrighty, guys, that's time is up. I thank you for watching. If you are wanting to see an altcoin stream technical analysis video, tune in on Wednesday at 5 p.m. Australian Eastern Standard Time. Sorry, I just live in Queensland. We don't do daylight savings, so I'm trying to remember what the time zone is when we are not in when we're not doing daylight savings, because I don't think we're Australian Eastern Standard Time. That's Sydney, and then we must change this to something else. But join me on Wednesday. Thank you for watching, and hope you enjoyed the stream. Feel free to leave me a comment, like, subscribe, and turn on notifications for this video. And I'll catch you guys next Monday. Bye.